In a day that should have been a massive celebration for XRP and another step in the right direction, well, guess what? Gary Gensler and his cronies decided the party had to end early. I'm going to break down exactly what's going on with the SEC, how likely is this appeal, and obviously we'll take a look at the XRP ETF news that we got earlier today. So make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a beat in this market. And let's get into this one. So in a very turbulent few days for the cryptocurrency market, we see Bitcoin dropping to around 60,000 without a move. And then XRP on the back of this news dropped to a massive 11.5% decline. Now it has showing a bit of sign of strength, moving back up a little bit to the kind of 54-cent range, but it wouldn't surprise me if we don't come all the way down to this line here that we've been looking at, which will be the lower line of around 50 cents. But why? Why today? What happened? Well, ultimately, we did get an official appeal filing here from the SEC, which we've sort of talked about for a while. Now, I'm going to hold my hands up, and I can't believe they've actually done it. I'm going to be dead honest at this point. I believe that with everything that happened with Grayscale, the fact that we just moved on, and ultimately the fact that the SEC had lost on pretty much everything, I cannot believe they officially filed it. But here it is. It says, please take note, the Plaintiff Securities and Exchange Commission hereby respectfully appeal to the United States Courts of Appeals for a Second Circuit from the final judgment entered by this court on August 7th, 2024. Again, going against the complete judgment on ruling that we have seen throughout. So I guess the question now is, well, what's going to happen? And clearly by the fact that the market is dumping, specifically around XRP, people are nervous that this could ultimately not be a thing. The reality here is, though, that Stuart Aldertree and Brad Garlinghouse giving their pretty solid opinion. Quote, the SEC's decision to appeal is disappointing, but not surprising. This just prolongs what is already a complete embarrassment for the agency. The court already rejected the SEC's suggestion that Ripple acted recklessly, and there were no allegations of fraud, and, of course, there were no victims or losses. Before I read point two, the point here is that the SEC not only tried to sue the token XRP, the company Ripple, and equally Stuart Aldertree, Chris Larson, and Brad Garlinghouse, and failed on every single point. This is kind of why there's a view here that actually the allegations they initially brought is kind of nonsense. So it's going to be very interesting to understand specifically what they are appealing. They can't just put an appeal in that says, yeah, we want to appeal the decision because we don't like it. There has to be a reason. Anyway, Stuart Aldertree goes on, quote, instead of faithfully applying the law, this agency under its chair continues to engage in litigation warfare against the industry. We are evaluating whether to file a cross appeal. Either way, the SEC's lawsuit has been irrational and misguided from the start, and we're ready to prove that yet again in the appellate court, once again taking the lead for the industry, that ultimately they are not a security. Coincidence that the SEC's enforcement director announced his resignation after an hour before this. Now, this is obviously interesting. This referring to Chief Grewal. He ultimately stepped down an hour before. Was this in a view that actually no longer can he take the embarrassment that they're getting from simply losing these court cases? At some point, you've got to question the integrity of the individuals that are doing it. And again, this is very interesting. So Gerber S. Grewal here, he was actually on the stage, I believe, when they sued Binance, but has chosen to step down. Now, at the moment, they're only going to put an acting director into his place. But again, it's very interesting that not only do we get the XRP ETF potential, we get Grewal stepping down, and then bang, the SEC chucking that appeal. Very interesting. However, Brad Garlinghouse goes on to say as well that if Gensler and the SEC were rational, they would have moved on from this case long ago. It certainly hasn't protected investors and instead has damaged the credibility and reputation of the SEC. And here's the crazy, almost double-edged sword with this. The SEC set out to protect investors and protect those Americans that invest in it. Well, how many do you think are protected by that red candle, specifically driven by the announcement from the SEC? And that's where it kind of all gets a bit grey. Why do they need to do it? And in my opinion, it is a simple act of trying to suppress the movement. We've seen a weakening in the market. People are nervous. Bitcoin dropping to 60,500. This is my opinion. Calculated and callous from the SEC. Brad Gallagher goes on to say, while we'll fight in court for as long as we need, let's be clear, XRP status as a non-security is the law of the land. That does not change even in the face of this misguided and infuriating appeal. Remember, when the SEC tried unsuccessfully to file an interlocutory appeal, they made clear that they had no intention of challenging XRP status as a non-security. So this is kind of crazy. There's lots of things they didn't appeal against. The fact that they were happy at 125 million, what I think though is an incredibly smart decision, and one I'm sure will come back to be a real big supporter of this, is the fact that they were not going to pay the fine post this. That makes the fine a very interesting topic for debate. If they have appealed against it and they were to lose the appeal, where do they sit with £125 million? I think that's where the cross appeal comes in. They could absolutely lose everything. This is an all-in for Gary Gensler and the SEC Commission. I would even argue this is an all-in for his job post the outcome of this decision. I think this is a very, very, very important decision, both for Gary Gensler, the cryptocurrency community, and obviously XRP. So look, the price. It wouldn't surprise me, like I said at the start of this video, we dropped to 50 cents. That wouldn't absolutely surprise me. We broke through a number of support lines that you would hope we would hold, equally moving averages as well, just blasted through those as people continued to be fearful of the market. Now, we may get some relief with if the Chinese market's open, likewise Shenzhen is just about to open, and we get a push in Bitcoin. This could be a positive, I guess, in terms of where we get. But look out for this low line. If you're looking to maybe trade this, I maybe go long post around 50 cents. This may give you an opportunity. Likewise, do check out the link for MEXC if you are interested in trading futures. This was actually a really nice wick down that we obviously saw once the appeal came in. And don't forget, we also partnered up with Trade Assist. They're giving you great indications with their software that you can download as an indicator to find the best trading opportunities. Again, supporting your decision on whether you should be going long, short, or much more. They have a premium service as well, so highly recommend checking both of those out. The links to both MEXC and Trade Assist are down in the description. But let me know what you think of all of this with the SEC. It feels like one step forward and again 2 steps back when it comes to this, but I'm sure we'll prevail long term, and I'm still bullish on where XRP is going to go. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button for more. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.